the AHEPA Voice District 6 podcast, brought to you by Tsougranis Media, in collaboration with BronxNet. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Tsougranis Media, AHEPA, BronxNet, the program sponsors, or underwriters.
Welcome, everyone, to the next episode of Voices of AHEPA, District 6 podcast, in order to interview the great pillars of our organization and to basically discuss their contributions. We have Basil Katsamakis here today, longtime member of AHEPA. I'm sure he's going to tell us a lot of history we don't know about the organization, and he's also going to tell us about the pillar that he chose to take the leadership of, which is the District 6 Scholarship Fund. So let me say welcome. And the first thing, tell us something about yourself, because the show is not just about what AHEPA is doing, but also the men who have made AHEPA great over all these years.
Well, thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity for me to speak about AHEPA, education, and our scholarship fund. So let me just start back in the old days, 1969. Okay. I was the Sons of Pericles, wow. And back then, we had a very robust Sons of Pericles group, which was great. I was able and fortunate enough to win a scholarship to go to Greece. On the journey to Greece, I spent 8 weeks in Greece, learning a whole bunch of things about Greek history, Greek education, and I was with 100 young Greeks, 50 boys and 50 girls, if you will. And it really opened up my eyes. I'm a New York-centric guy. I grew up in Queens, in Astoria and Flushing, okay. And was able to see the world through the eyes of my fellow Greeks that were there, sons and maids of Athena. We learned so much about each other, and it really gave me the impetus to look ahead and to see what I can do in the Greek community. And so after that, I was with the Sons for, quite a few years. And then we, took a break a little bit and had a family and came back into AHEPA and with the Delphi chapter. And the Delphi chapter at that point had about 5-6 members, and I came on board with Brother Mike Papafotis, and with the help of our past Supreme President, Jimmy Kokotas, we started to bring the chapter up. And then a big thanks to Brother Argitakos, who really took us to the next level. And right now we have 240 members. And
you hit like a dozen topics I wanted to discuss, so hopefully I could remember them all because you really did bring up a lot. So, Sons of Pericles. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have a good feeder system into the adult organization, that's the best thing that any organization could have. So I will bring on the Sons of Pericles, much like I will bring on the Maids of Athena and all the other organizations that are in our family. Mm-hmm. Right, but I do want to just emphasize, tell us, I mean, that's a great experience. It's just amazing, first of all, that not only do they give scholarships in terms of money, but I assume that there was some aid back then and also now.
Full ride scholarship to go to Greece.
Right, and were you one of those families that went to Greece every summer anyway?
No, no, we did not. My family comes from a town called Kastoria, northern part of Greece, basically furriers, and
I've been to
so
Kastoria.
my family would go. My father had 2 weeks vacation, and we always went out to Greenport, Long Island.
Which is
And-
like the second Greece here in America.
Exactly right. So that was my Greek experience through the years, and never really went back. Stayed local most of the time. I've been to Greece obviously a few times, but not like others that would go to their chorio, as it's called, back in Greece and be by the waterside for the whole summer. But I only did that once or twice with my family.
Okay, so basically it was one of the best investments that could have been made in a young Greek, because look at you now. How many years later can I say? Because
Well, 69. So think about that. I was a little 17-year-old kid. So I'm a little bit older than most.
So in '69, AHEPA gave you the opportunity to take a trip to Greece, to meet other Greeks, to become friends with them, to network, and then here you are today, 30 years later, 40 years later, basically collecting money in order for District 6 to give out scholarships, in order for Greek youth or anyone that's part of the organization. Because you don't have to be Greek, but you're going to give us the guidelines as to the scholarship funds that we have, in order to basically become our best images of ourselves. What was it? My little great grandmother, who lived to be 100 and something, who couldn't write up in the village, would say that people are polished by education. So here
Right.
you are, because of a donation that someone gave and funds raised by someone else, now getting exponential returns to the community in education.
Yeah, it's been great, and I still am in touch with a lot of our past recipients who have gone on to do better things, and hopefully they will then come back and give back to the organization. So our fund, just who's available, who can take out our scholarships, are sons and daughters. We don't discriminate between the two.
Okay.
Of AHEPANs that have been in AHEPA for the last 2 years, or have been a Sons of Pericles and part of that organization. So those are the criteria that we use, and that's in our bylaws on how we distribute our funds.
Okay, so what's more, there's multiple levels of scholarships that are generated, but your District 6, which is the New York chapters, and now there's two. Can you clarify, because you're part of a fund that was started due to the fundraising around our past Supreme President, Kokotas, is that correct?
That's a different, we'll talk about that in a minute. But our fund was created in 1985 by Brothers of District 6.
Okay.
This is all District 6, which encompasses the whole New York State, all the chapters in New York State. Excuse me. The funds that were created have multiplied, and we do not touch the perpetual fund. And our perpetual fund now is up to $40,000. Plus, there was a fundraiser done by the Brooklyn chapter, and that Brooklyn chapter raised it in honor of our past Supreme President, Jimmy Kokotas. And there were funds raised at that event, and Jimmy said, I want it all to go to the District 6 scholarship. So right now, we have about another $100,000 and pledges of $200,000 that were raised, and that's being collected over the next 5 years. And Brother Jimmy is setting up a foundation that we would then benefit from the interest that we would get out of that perpetual fund. So the whole idea is to create something that can then be added, and if people want to donate money either to his his foundation or directly to our District 6, it doesn't make a difference. We'd be happy to take either one and then create our, the funds that we need to go forward.
Okay, so once again, it's really District 6 that we're talking about in terms of scholarships available. And you have the District 6 scholarship fund that was put together originally, and then there was a second add-on which worked together. Many of the same board members from AHEPA are also board members of the committee, and that is basically under the name of our past Supreme President Gokutas. Now, to get a scholarship through the District 6, you have to be a son or a daughter, which is the younger chapters of the AHEPA network.
Not the daughter, not the maids. They just have to be a sibling. I'm sorry, not a sibling, but they have to be a child of a AHEPA member, either present or grandfather that's in AHEPA, or a Sons of Pericles. The maids have their own organization through the Daughters of Penelope that give out also scholarships.
Okay,
which are different.
Which is also what I saw. Not only are the men taking on the responsibility to raise and distribute money, but we just had our convention. You brought us the pamphlet from the convention, and basically with the AHEPANs and the maids, they have their meeting in the morning, and then during lunch they hand out scholarships.
Right.
And then afterwards, all the fun happens, and we have our election.
Right. Yeah, and we've been very fortunate. This year, we had 21 applications, which were great. And the applications come from high school seniors ready to go to college or going to a vocational program. I'm very high on the trades program, so we created a fund for that group if anyone applied. And for current college students. Those are the three criteria that we have. We also have another scholarship that we give out to a graduate from St. Basil's Academy, if anyone applies. Unfortunately, this year we didn't have one. We had one last year, and we didn't have anyone from vocational programs. But I strongly encourage family members that want to send their child to a vocational school, become a plumber, electrician, medical assistant, nurse, all those vocational type programs to apply. Because to me, it's where we need to have our focus going forward in this country.
So, again, let's go off on a little bit of a tangent, because I was with some gentlemen out in Seacliff, and they were involved in building technology because of the large amount of conversions in the Midwest converting to Orthodoxy, and they didn't have enough priests. And they were saying that especially the Midwest is thirsting for the traditions that the Orthodox Church has. I'm talking about the Christian Orthodox Church under the auspices of, just orthodoxy. A lot of people might, what is orthodoxy? Because we will put this onto episodes where it won't be to a Greek community, but the Christian Orthodox Church, which is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, traditions, or the Eastern Rite churches, are basically getting a lot of converts here in the Midwest. So here you had an opportunity for somebody to go to a seminary school, which is what St. Basil's is.
No, right? No, this is St. Basil's Academy. This is the orphanage that started up in Garrison, New York. Okay. It was that organization.
Okay, so that's another. Okay, so that's not the seminary school.
That's not the seminary school, right? Okay. But it's an interesting question. I'll bring it up to my committee to look at. Maybe we should think about one of our scholarships focused in on that, and see if we can get people that are interested in going to the seminary to apply for a scholarship with us.
I think that's a great idea, and maybe I kind of misinterpreted or gave out false information, but it might have led to something that's positive. So
no, it has. It has. I was thinking about when you were talking about the Midwest, and it's something that we should think about. So I have by the way, just off topic also, I have a stellar blue ribbon committee. We have 11 members on the committee. We have the current Supreme Governor, Dean Moskos. Okay. I have 4 past district governors. I have past presidents of chapters. I've got current members of the lodge, and our esteemed Vice President, Gus Mallis, who's our attorney and our conscience. So it's a great organization. We get together and we create what's called a rubric, which is a series of things that we want the student to apply with, SAT scores, their transcripts, reference letters, an essay, which is very important, and just as important, extracurricular activities that supported what they've done in the community. And we rank all those things on a scale of 100 points, and each member of my committee reviews the 21 applications, and we put it into this big, huge spreadsheet that was created, by the way, by our brother Chris Pappas. I forgot to mention him. He's also a member of my committee. Great support. And we then sit down and meet and go through all 21 applications, and we decide which of the scholarships of these recipients that we want to give money out to. And in the past, we've given out 5 scholarships. This year, because we've had some extra money, number one, which I'll talk about in a second, we were able to give out 8 scholarships. And one of the scholarships that we have given out comes from the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese. This is the second year. They liked what we did last year, and they awarded us an additional scholarship this year. So we're on the path of really creating an organization that can really support Hellenism, support education, and help our students achieve what they want to do. And they're all going to these stellar colleges. I'm talking about University of Chicago and what have you. It's incredible.
I was amazed. I mean, I have the pamphlet. Jonathan Versaki,
yeah.
3.9 unweighted GPA. He's then you have Sophia Stefakis. I mean, it really was a very strong candidate, very strong. All of them had 3.9 averages up, going to phenomenal colleges. Yorgos, I have a stutter sometimes. Strategopoulos. I'm sorry for my stutter.
And let me just 1 second speak about Yorgo. Yorgo is in Athens. His father was the past president of our Delphi chapter, and he is an incredible student. He's going to the University of Athens in their medical program. He's going to become a doctor like his father.
Okay.
And he is an outstanding shot putter. And don't be surprised that one day in the Olympics, you're going to see Yorgo representing Greece in shot putting. He is just an incredible kid. I think so much of this kid.
Oh, you know what? Let's give them all a shout out if you don't mind.
No, please do. Read all the names.
Let's start from the beginning. Jonathan Versaki, if I said it correctly. You could tell us something about him. 3.9 GPA. Attended Lehigh University College of Business. All right. If you want to say anything about him.
No, just you got the pamphlet.
Sophia Stefakis. Look, she's from the Gold Coast.
Gold Coast
Phi Beta Kappa, University of Chicago, Committee of Geography.
She gave the most outstanding acceptance speech. University of Chicago, as you may know, is one of the hardest universities to get into. And to be Phi Beta Kappa there is an extraordinary opportunity for her. So I'm very, very proud of her, too.
It looks like she's very involved in economics and business, Women Business Organization, University of Chicago, Private Equity Club. Maybe she'll give me some good investment advice, Real Estate Investment Group, Women's Council on Economics. Definitely future leaders. Then you mentioned about Yorgos Konstantinos Georgiadis, undergraduate student at Stevens Institute of Technology, studying civil engineering. Current GPA 3.85. I see varsity track, so they're well-rounded individuals.
Well-rounded, yep, every one of them.
Yeah. Then we have John Ballis, Holy Cross High School, salutatorium, 2006. President of the National Honor Society, AP Scholar, the Honor Math Society, Mi Alpha Theta, Holy Cross Volleyball Team, involved in St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Shrine. Then we have Anastasia Vani, attended the University of Central Florida. Again, long history.
Yeah,
in
she's
Goya.
going to become a great nurse. Yep.
Oh, this is Anastasia's
Anastasia's daughter.
Beautiful girl. Yeah.
And people say, well, how can someone who's on my committee, and he recused himself, and just like like I did with Yorgo, actually, because I know him, and we don't do this on a blind basis. We're all grown-ups, and we all know who we know, and if we know someone that we do not want to make sure that we push them, we just recuse ourselves.
Dimitrios Skordas, he also got an award, senior at Troy High School, 9.783, 100 unweighted GPA, will be attending Resnor Polytech Institute.
Resnolier.
And as an engineer.
Yeah, great. What a great school.
Okay, good. Also involved in athletics, involved in Byzantine studies. And Alexandra Danis.
Mm-hmm.
St. John's Hilltop University, attending Adelphi University, and is an honor student, National Honor Society. So part of being able to pick such a great group of students is the outreach. So I'm happy that you came on here today. You took time out of your busy day and all the events and all the things happening in your life in order to make sure that the outreach is there. And part of the reason for this podcast is to make sure that everyone knows about it. If you don't know about it, you don't apply.
That's right, exactly. And our applications are increasing every year. And I make it an effort to always speak about it wherever I go, because it's so important for our youth. And, I'm the beneficiary of that. So to me, giving back is very important to me.
It kind of hurts me when I say, well, people in our community don't know about AHEPA, all that it's done since 1922, the 100 years of history we had, the good that we've done.
Right.
Now that we've become comfortable and we're no longer the subject of discrimination and we have some economic wealth, we can't forget about our roots.
100%. 100%. And that's why, the goal is to always bring in new members that can bring a variety of thinking and experiences to make AHEPA better. And so all of our roles, every one of us should think about what can we do to bring in new members. Last year I brought in 2 new members, and our chapter grew by 40 people last year. And of the 40, 30 of them were under 30, age-wise. So the whole idea is to bring in the next generation of our AHEPans. And so it's important that we all do this outreach, both, from whatever angle we can do this.
So for those that don't know, Delphi is probably one of the, if not, probably is the largest.
Second largest in the country.
In the entire nation.
Yeah.
And it was founded in its one of the early stages. What's the number, Delphi? What's the
25.
Number?
So we're the 25th chapter.
Right. So the 25th chapter started. And you've also had a president, right?
Well, FDR was a member, and an active member, frankly, of AHEPA back then. And if you go up to his estate, you'll see a bust of Franklin Delano Roosevelt that was created and paid for by Delphi. And we were one of 2 that were allowed to be on his property. And when we had our convention there last year, sponsored by Delphi, we decided to have it up at his estate. And it was incredible. They actually pulled out of the archives a fez that he had from AHEPA. So we have a stellar group of people. If I start mentioning names, it's going to be embarrassing that I didn't include others. So, but we've had a lot of stellar members of Delphi.
I personally love your initiations. You're a large enough chapter in order to do it right.
Yep.
It's a steakhouse in Manhattan.
We do it at Gallagher Steakhouse. A shout out to our brother who sponsors us every year. And it's just a great great event, and we do this right after the New Year. So we have the Vasilopita, and we have the cutting of the cake, and someone who won it last year is so far having a good year, and that was me.
No, it's actually it's a very impressive venue, and as the marshal, I go down in order to show my support. And it's not just because of the personalities and the fun dealing and talking to all the AHEPA brothers, but also the good food. So there's a little shout out to Gallagher Steakhouse.
Yeah, great place. So food is incredible, and so we have a wonderful event. And just from our chapter, if I can just brag a little bit,
You could brag.
we have our annual boat ride, which you attended this
Which
year.
I
And
enjoyed.
we do this every year. It's a sunset cruise, and it's just a wonderful way to get together and enjoy each other's company. Uh, People that are cigar smokers go upstairs and do the cigars. This year, our Nick fans, we brought in some really big jumbo TVs and had one of the levels of our boat. It was a 3-4 level boat. It was just incredible, and the people could watch the Nick game, and then our brother George Andrianakos that owns DJ International. I may have gotten the name wrong. I'm sorry, George, but he has a DJ he's been around for 30, 40 years. Is one of our members. Had a dance floor, so everyone was dancing Greek, watching the Knicks games upstairs. It was just an incredible event.
I bought my wife,
Yes, I
and it
remember
was
that.
nice that it was in the evening, and I was amazed how close up we came to the Statue of Liberty. Well, I mean, we were like basically right on top.
Right
of the
on
statue.
top, and I got some great pictures of that. Yeah.
And it was a beautiful night. It was calming. It was patriotic. And it was truly just, I mean, God bless us with a beautiful night. And it was the perfect evening.
Yep, it was. It was. So we do that event. We have our gala that's going to be in October. That is always a great opportunity for everyone to show up, and we do a lot of fundraising. Our president Paul Pavlakos started a campaign last year to give out backpacks,
Right.
not to the Greek community, but to the overall community. And it was a great event, and we're doing it again this year.
Good.
So
those are one of many things that
was one of many things. And stepping back into the scholarship, Delphi has committed $25,000 to my scholarship, $5,000 over 5 years, and it's great to be able to be part of Delphi and benefit from my own chapter providing these type of funds. So looking forward then to this year, and I appreciate being here and being able to push out the word and hoping to get not only more students applying, but if anyone wants to donate, please let me know.
Okay, so what are the timelines? We're talking about people applying, but who do they apply to? Where do they apply to? What's the process like? What's the deadline?
The deadline is typically May 1st or thereabouts.
Okay. What website do they need to go on?
The AHEPA District 6 website, and there's a thing there for scholarships.
Okay, so it's just AHEPAD6.com.
Yeah.
It should be able to bring it up here.
Mhm.
If not, but it's just AHEPA
AHEPA
District 6.
District 6.
.com, yeah.
.com, and if anyone wants to make a donation, my email address is on there, so you can either email me or we'll figure out a way to
And
get.
I'm sure I'll put a caption down here at the bottom of the
Yes.
script so that we could people can contact.
That'll be
So,
great.
If somebody wants to apply for the District 6, now again, there's breakdown. There's a little bit of a difference, meaning that you have the Kokotas and also
No, the Kokotas Fund is just a ancillary way of collecting money for our fund. It's still the same fund.
Okay.
It's just that he created this fund, and it feeds into us, but he doesn't rely on. He doesn't do his own rubrics or applications. It's all through us.
Okay.
So we are the vehicle that does all that with money that we get from him, as well as all the other foundation money that we have.
Okay, so it's just a secondary type of income where from the dance that they were going to have, he was able, because of his contribution and service and also the need for scholarships and the great idea of having more scholarships. It was just something where they set up an additional fund in order to have a perpetual fund.
That's right.
In order maybe for the more savvy investor to also give stock or in-kind contributions. Not just cash.
That was part of the reason why we didn't include it in ours, because of that one reason. People want to donate stock, we would have to open up a special account, which is not part of our bylaws. So it really works well for him to be able to have this fund, and for us to have, benefit from it.
Right.
And he, I've had lots of conversations with brother Jimmy that he doesn't want to do anything other than rely on us, because we're the experts, if you will.
Now,
we've been doing this for many years.
Now, not just that, but you had schools. You were involved in education. From what I understand, you actually, you had schools. Were you ever a public school teacher, or your schooling environment was all done for specialized schools?
I taught at St. John's University as an adjunct professor and
so you
teaching
do have an
marketing
background.
Yeah, but then also my work life since 1987 has been involved in higher education. I've been involved with career schools, vocational schools over the years, and at one point, a couple of years ago, before we decided to divest them, I had over 25 campuses that reported to me in various organizations, companies. And we had everything. We still do have an acupuncture college, 3 acupuncture colleges that go up to the doctorate level. We have medical massage colleges, and all the way down to cosmetology that I've run, electrical programs. I was involved with Apex Technical School here in New York, and was the CEO of that group for many, many years. So I've got a deep knowledge of education from the vocational school side, and that's why I really want to push that as a way of what's happening now in our country. It's expensive to go to college, as everyone knows, and it used to be the pathway, and everyone thought that was the only pathway. And I think when you look at being able to become an electrician within a year, becoming a plumber within a year, HVAC, which is heating, ventilation, air conditioning, refrigeration, within a year, and coming out with great salaries. I mean, these guys make a lot of money, and so the pathway is no longer just getting a 4-year college degree, and that's what I've been involved in since 1987.
Even high school, outside of the public school system, you could pay anywhere between 20 to 65, 70,000 for some of these elite schools that I hear about. But if your children don't go to even high school, it's going to cost you. If they don't go to a local high school here in New York City, you're paying 20 plus K a year, which is significant.
Yep, it is.
It's education is a very, very expensive endeavor. But you know what? It's more expensive not to be educated than to pay for
you got to get an education. High school degrees these days, and over the last 30 years, has not given you the opportunity to really get ahead. That's unfortunate. So back in the day, my day, high schools had vocational programs, and budget cuts and everything else, they just cut them out. So that void was filled by the schools that I ran, and we have. I had very robust nursing programs, BSN programs, bachelors of science, all the way to master levels of nursing. So all these fields that don't require you to go necessarily to a traditional college, and you can get out. And my schools never took a break. We never had summer vacations or anything else. We just plowed right through, because we know that the quickest way into the workforce, you don't need to take the summer off. And our kids, and I call them kids, never took summer off. They just went right through. So our bachelor's of nursing program could be done in 2.5 years. And, incredible to be able to come out with a bachelor's degree in nursing and make $125,000 a year.
Part of making money and also being effective in life is finding a niche that serves a purpose. And it looks like you definitely served a purpose.
And I continue to do that. I am still involved, working very hard uh, to look at and new opportunities that uh, the funds that I work with to buy new schools and to expand them and to do everything that is necessary.
So you're presently still involved in the education in many of these schools. Do you want
100%.
you want to give? I mean, I have no objection to you talking about the name of the firm or anything like that. If you want to pass on it, it's up
Yeah,
to you.
that's okay. I don't need to expound on that, but I can say that uh, the good that we do is incredible, and I'm very proud of all the schools that we acquired over the years. And our goal, this is through a private equity firm that specializes only in educational companies, all levels, pre-K, K through 8, tech-enabled companies that work with educational companies, and my role was on the vocational side. And so we would buy a school group. We bought a group up in Detroit, had 4 campuses, a few programs. I added on a significant number of new programs, including culinary, electrical, nursing, and went from 4 campuses up to 10 campuses and sold it to a not-for-profit university called Lindenwood University. So that's an example of what we do. We take a school, make it better, and then send it on to the next level so that they could, take it to the next level. So
Don't take this the wrong way, but I didn't know that it went so deep. I know you as the smiling man who always pushes for education in our community, but I'm just amazed at the depth of people in AHEPA and in our Greek community that are a lot bigger than what they show on the outside.
I don't like to brag. You know me. I'm a very simple guy. As I say to everyone, I'm a little boy from Queens, and I've always will be the little boy from Queens that wants to do good. And uh, I I attribute all this also to my father and my mother. They instilled education in me. My father was a furrier all his life, came home, dead beat, tired, worked 6 days a week. And in the summers, thank God he took a half a day on Saturday. And we would pack the car and then go out to Jones Beach, Sunken Meadow, do something. Well, then that was the 2 weeks when he was off. But during the summer when he wasn't off, that was what we did.
I mean, the furrier business was a very lucrative business. It took a little bit of a dip, but
big dip.
big
Yeah,
dip.
big dip. Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know is that the Greeks were very involved in the fur manufacturing
It
here in
was.
America.
I learned how to sew skins.
Yeah.
And, but my father would always say, if you want to do this for the rest of your life, that's fine. But if not, you got to get an education. So I was fortunate enough to go to Queens College back in the day when Queens College was pretty tough to get into, and graduated from there, and then had a full ride scholarship to go to St. John's University for my MBA.
Okay, so you were a professor, right?
Adjunct professor.
And what was your topic when you were an adjunct professor?
Marketing 101, Introduction to Marketing. And it was an amazing, I did it for a couple of years and then got busy with work and just, couldn't continue doing it. But it was great. It was in an evening class. So you can imagine everyone in the evening are working.
All right.
And so you think they would be dead tired when they got to class. Well, these kids wanted to be there as compared to maybe someone who was, a freshman that mommy and daddy wanted them to go to college. And so they soaked up every word that I said. And when I started talking, every head went down, pencil in hand, writing everything down. It was a wonderful experience to be able to instill, what I knew about marketing.
So how did you make the jump from adjunct professor to entrepreneur and then create a system that not only benefited the life of thousands through the skills that they developed, but also brought you into probably, I'm assuming, a next economic class, which is a goal of all of us.
Yeah, I was working at Mobil Oil. I was with them for almost 10 years, and then they decided to leave New York. And as I said, I'm this little boy from Queens. I'm New York centric, so I I couldn't go down. I couldn't leave New York.
Okay.
So I stayed behind and worked for a small company for a couple of years that manufactured portable lamps, and got my cut as an entrepreneur and what it was like to run a small business. And so as I was, teaching at St. John's, I got the bug in education. I just loved it. And then had an opportunity to go work for Apex Technical School, which is the largest vocational school in New York. Great school, offers tremendous opportunity and programs. And then from there, had a few other positions as CEO of a couple of school groups, and then got introduced to a gentleman who was creating this fund strictly for education, and he asked me to come on board. And so we initially bought 2 culinary schools in New York, one on Long Island, one in New York, combined them, added another school group out of New Jersey, and created this great 7-school group that we then sold it to someone else who was interested in it. Then they had other schools and wanted to combine them, and that's what they did. And then started buying more schools and creating the opportunity that I mentioned. So over the years, I've done well, and I've well in being able to say that I was able to instill in students the love of learning, and that's what we really did. And kids would come in with really not the highest level of security and how they felt about themselves, and to see them growing over the term of the program and graduating, they were like 3 inches taller, because they would just stand up and they were so proud of being able to be an auto mechanic or to be a nurse and things like that. It was just amazing.
Well, I mean, right now, especially with AI, the talk of the town, the buzz is that, these trade schools, they keep saying, buy these what they might call boring or not like but they're really skilled labor. People are saying now, go after the businesses where the people are aging out, go after the HVAC businesses, go after the roofing businesses, go after the skilled labor businesses, because that's where the opportunity in having a viable business with a revenue stream that's worth it.
That's our current thesis, by the way.
It is. You have a thesis for that's
our thesis in the 2 funds that I'm involved in.
So then,
to go look at opportunities within school groups throughout the country that offer these programs, and that we can then take and do what we do best. We take good schools and we make them better, and we grow them, and especially now in the trade programs, expanding them and being able to provide this country with the skilled workers that are needed.
And especially now with AI decimating a lot of the white-collar jobs.
That's the scary part. Exactly. So, that's really what our focus, my focus is in looking at opportunities like that.
I mean, some people, and again, I'm not saying this, some people make money off the backs of other individuals. You made money off of the uplifting of individuals.
That's the way, exactly. And, private equity has had bad, public relations, and some of it deserved, but we have never done what other private equity firms do. They just go out and they buy a company, strip it down, over leverage it, and then all of a sudden, it's out of business.
Gordon Gekko style.
So we've never done that. Our goal is to pour money back into the business, expand it, and create opportunities that you mentioned. So I'm very proud of what I've been able to do over the years, and to double back to the scholarships, being able to give. I give a donation every year in honor of my parents because of what they've been able to give me going forward. So.
Okay, so then when someone donates, they donate to the perpetual fund. Now, they don't actually use, like, let's say I give $500,000. they don't use that 500 and just give it out that year. They would put it into some account.
No, typically what we do is one of two things. If it's a big donation and people want to do it over a period of time, then it'll go into the perpetual fund. If not, then that's the money that we use every year to accomplish our goals.
Right.
And so if someone wants to donate $1,000, it would go into next year's scholarship bucket to be given out. And if the amount is large enough, then we would do it under their name. As you can see, a lot of the donations were made under names of people that have donated money in honor of their family members and things like that.
Okay, like for example, Nick Maneka scholarship
Yes.
winner. So he obviously said, here's a minimum of I don't know what.
He gave a lot. He gave
a
a good amount, and I was so happy that we got that. And by the way, his daughter was the one who came and gave the money out to the winner. So.
Okay, so we have here some of the named scholarships where donors who gave money, their names attached to it. You have the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese,
Which I mentioned
they
earlier.
gave an award. President. Okay, then we have Nick Manekas, who you said gave a substantial amount, and that's actually one of the awards that's given out. Kokotas, we said the name again.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Pambukis Family Scholarship.
Yeah, that's Brother Demi. Demi was a past governor of our district and is one of our members on our committee, and he was generous to give us a donation this year.
Gala's family.
Over the last couple of years, not just this year.
Gala's family also gave towards a scholarship.
Another,
right?
and he also is one of my members of my committee. He is a past governor, and he has donated this for many, many years over, in memory of his family.
And who is this guy? Katsamakis Family Scholarship?
Yeah, I give out also scholarship. I've been doing that for the last couple of years, 3-4 years.
Okay, to donate to sponsor a scholarship, please contact us at AHEPA, AHEP. So it's AHEPA Scholarship, d6@gmail.com.
That's it.
And my excellent crew is going to put that on the bottom, right under here a few times. But it's AHEPA Scholarship, letter D, 6@gmail.com. Okay, and you can learn more about the District 6 Scholarship at our website, which is ahepad6.com. We'll put that at the bottom.
Great.
Now, I also want to mention that this is just the district. This is just the 28 chapters that are raising funds.
Correct.
But on a national level, there are millions of dollars that are donated.
Correct.
Some lady, I don't.
Yep.
I believe it's anonymous, or
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go on to the AHEPA national site or worldwide site, because it's a worldwide organization, a lot of Greeks and Philhellenes, they leave money.
Yes.
Specifically, I believe one lady gave 7-point-something million.
A lot of money.
And then she was like, "No, I want to give more." And then she gave another 3.
Yep. So all this money is great for education. That's what the E stands for in AHEPA.
That's right.
And so I'm just so happy to be a small cog in that. We don't have millions of dollars, but we do have the energy and the desire to help our local students.
My wife is not Greek. My wife is Russian. And she thinks that the Greeks are the best organizers in the world. And when you go to the church, someone's the Sunday school teacher. When you go to the school, someone's volunteering for another position. So I picked this little role in order to take our media room and help everyone know who we are. So everyone does their little part, because if we work together, then we can accomplish great things.
And this isn't just a little part,
all right, okay.
Brother Greg.
Thank you.
It really is. This is an important thing that never been done before, and I think it's incredible that you're doing this and getting our whole district elevated. And hopefully, when people hear this, they would say, "You know what? This is an organization I want to join. This is an organization I want to give back to in life for whatever reason that suits them." And that's why I'm doing it.
So I want to mention the last episode we did. which just shows you the disconnect that we need to fix, is we had one of our long-term AHEPA members, Assemblyman Benedetto here,
Yes.
who's been in charge, who's now the chairman for years of the Education Committee and in charge of a $40 billion budget. And he was somewhat unaware of all, even with the veteran events we do, because he used to be in charge of the Veterans Committee for New York State.
Right.
All right, so we're not a political organization, but in the past we have had advocacy days like we have in D.C., up in Albany. So maybe we could rekindle that.
I would love to, if you could coordinate a meeting with him. I would love to sit down and have lunch with the two of you guys and just talk about education. I am honored to also be the education director for the district, which is a separate hat that I wear. And I've been appointed by the last 7 governors to hold that role.
Well, you've earned it.
And so I would love to be able to speak to him and see, what we can do together and how we can, maybe get some money from the state to help fund what we're doing.
Okay. Now, we have about 5 minutes left. So I'm just going to read the names off to honor the people who are part of the committee. If
Great.
you want
I would love for you to do that.
If you want to interject with any special comments,
Okay.
all right, because I'm sure they're all going to be positive, because you love them and they will love you. So, Vice President Konstantinos Malas.
That's Gus Malas. He's our attorney also, very well respected in the Brooklyn community as well as the whole New York community, and has done an incredible job helping us with bylaws and making sure that, we're straight and narrow.
Secretary Chris Pappas, Secretary Extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. He is by far the best I've ever seen in being able to roll up his sleeves, help us put together the rubric. He gathers all the applications, puts them into folders that we can all see. So a huge, huge shout out for Brother Chris.
Always. He does so much for AHEPA. He's pretty much the glue in many ways. Treasurer Chris Gallis.
Chris Gallis is salt of the earth, past governor of the district. He's on the audit committee for the national committee, and just is incredible in keeping us funded and he's the one that works with the Archdiocese of New York, the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese, to secure our funds that we get from them.
Vasilios Chrysochos.
He is one of the members that brings the Hellenism to our group and is just an extraordinary guy to work with.
I've known him for probably 30 plus years, and I'm going to spill some beans about his greatness.
Yep.
You probably don't know this, but back in the day, he, along with some of my friends, went to northeast Pontian section of Turkey, and they brought a film camera, and they were documenting. He was 20 years old.
Oh, I know that. That's incredible. Yeah,
and they were documenting the crypto Greek societies.
Oh, cool.
In the Pontian society.
Cool.
So we would meet and discuss these things over at Ammonia Cafe.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to go, but I couldn't. But it was just amazing that a handful of 20-year-old Greeks, or even less, probably 18, 20, they took a video camera and they were searching for the crypto Greek societies that were Turkified.
As they say,
Ted Klingos.
Ted Klingos, past president of the Delphi chapter. Smart as a whip, brings a different angle for us, and he's got a financial background, so an incredible asset that we have on our committee.
Dean Moskos, you mentioned him before. We also interviewed him since he's Supreme Governor or part of the Supreme, and also in charge of the Hellenic History Tournament contest.
Right, and I'm involved with them on that also, and that's a great shout out to that group, and I'm sure you mentioned it on his, but looking forward to this year being even better.
Demi Pamboukes.
Brother Demi has been, past governor, has been involved with the AHEPA for many, many years, and a little bit of a trivia. He and I played basketball back in Goya back in 1969, and on our team was the Tennant brothers, George Tenet, who was the CIA director,
yeah.
and Bill Tenet, a outstanding cardiologist on Long Island.
That's amazing.
And so, when we met together, and I said, Demi, and he goes, yeah, I played basketball. Yeah, we played together. Great guy.
Then we also have Mike Papafotis.
Papafotis, also past governor. He held together the Delphi group, as I mentioned, back in the day when we were really a nascent group, and resurgence came from his efforts.
Petros Ragoussis, former governor, if I'm not mistaken.
Also past governor, and he's been a member of our committee for many years, and brings also the look on trying to promote vocational scholarships.
Anastasis Stampolis, my good friend.
Anastasis is a workhorse. He is incredible. He has done so many things for AHEPA and for my committee, and just great guy.
Now his chapter's out on Long Island.
At Hempstead.
Right, Hempstead. And he also is very strong in terms of the youth programs they have out there.
He's great. They've been able to bring the Sons of Pericles. I think they have like 60 members now or something like that. I may not be right on the number, but just incredible. And one last thing, if I can,
of course you can.
Promote. One of the things that we want to do this year as a fundraiser is to have a 70s disco night.
Okay.
And so we're going to be planning that out over the summer and in the fall, and do something in 2027 where we can combine 70s disco music with some Greek dancing too. So obviously we have to include that. And we had a great event last year, Basil the comedian, and we had about 120 people that showed up.
I'm sorry I missed that.
And it was great. And that's what we want to do, is do a couple more fundraisers like that, and be able to get sponsors to help us through and to expand our reach, if you will.
Just as a side note, we do want to do these hour-long episodes so that we could get to know people, document our happens, document what their passion is or what pillar they provide to the community. But this is going out to all the AHEPA brothers. We also need to do little shorts when you have an event.
Yeah.
So that's something that's open to the AHEPA community.
We'll definitely let you know. I'm big on promotion, and if it's done right, it's helpful.
I mean, all it is, like, we just interviewed for the Greek festival over here at ZP. We did a.
I saw that.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's under 3 minutes, which it should be like a minute and a half, a quick little blurb.
Right.
And then we're not only advertising to the Greek community, but if everyone follows and likes, then it propagates. You could boost it for a few dollars a day. And then this way, it really gets out there.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's great.
So,
and after all is said and done, you're going to fall in love.
Thank you for that's my real estate pitch.
I know that is. That's why I say you'll fall in love.
So get ready to watch this episode and get ready to fall in love. All right.
Well, thank you for having me. This was great.
The pleasure was mine. Onward and upward. Zito Elas. I don't know what else I could say, but
that's great. Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
AHEPA Next Gen is where gentlemen ages 30 to 45 come together. High-quality events, real mentorship, friendships that open doors. But it reaches further into service, education, and local impact. It's a pathway to leadership and a chance to represent Hellenic values with purpose. Build strong connections. Give back in meaningful ways. The right circle, the right mission. Built on heritage, focused on the future. Become part of AHEPA Next Gen.
Unlike you and most of you, I was not born in the United States to live and enjoy democracy. I came to the United States from Turkey, where I was a third-category citizen. So when Martin Luther King Jr. had his walk to the courthouse of Selma, Alabama. I decided to join him. So I said, this is my time to take revenge against all those who oppress people. Upon my return, someone called me Prodoti, traitor. Somehow that I should be ashamed of what I have done. Some that I am not an American. Some that I'm not a Christian. I know that civil rights and human rights continue to be the most thorny social issues in our nation. But I will stand for both rights, civil and human, for as long as I live. I feel it a Christian duty and the duty of a man who was born as a slave.